Hey internet, welcome to Worldview Everlasting, your favorite YouTube addiction. And this is your daily fix. Oh joy. The View, everyone's favorite, it's only what women think as long as you don't let conservative women speak show is back, demonstrating the inconsistency of American thought across the board.
He either exposed himself to them, raped them, or groped them.
It's her policies that really matter.
Yeah.
Like Republicans have voted against the Violence Against Women Act. Now that to me is more important than anything that Bill Clinton did or didn't do. Women still voted for Teddy Kennedy. Why?
True.
Because he voted for women's rights. But they're both dogs as far as I'm concerned. But I still will vote for Bill Clinton because he votes in my favor.
This is a pretty common way of thinking as Americans, that it doesn't really matter what you actually do as long as you say that you believe the right things. We actually do believe it's a society that you can believe one thing and do another, and that there is no contradiction whatsoever. Well, this is pretty par for the course. That the postmodern will is free to define their own morality based on context, which can ebb and flow depending on what you actually want to see happen. That is, you can change with the wind in order to get what you want. We'll just ignore for the moment the subtle insertion of the fact that all Republicans are against protecting women from violence, and let's assume and lump together that any vote for Democratic policies are therefore votes for women's rights, regardless of whether or not they actually protect women or the unborn. And let's get back to her initial statement.
It's her policies that really matter.
This is actually tremendously true. Your policies are the thing that matter.
Great principles don't get lost once they come to light. They're right here.
The question is, are your policies only a matter of what you say when the camera is on, or are your policies actually what you do when nobody's watching? Can your policies change just because the context changed? And postmodernism clearly says yes.
I guess this is just another lost cause, Mr. Payne.
And what Christians on both sides of the aisle are willfully ignorant of is the fact that you can't actually have a society in which you pass laws that stop people from doing bad things like violence to women if you're going to raise a society of people that believe that there is no ultimate good or evil, truth or falsehood, and that laws are just a matter of context and personal opinion.
I hate this place.
All of this is no doubt more extreme and less exciting than Romans chapter 6 and Isaiah chapter 43, which frankly, when believed, will do far more to stop violence against women than anything our government can do. The God who created heaven and earth has sent his only son, Jesus Christ, to die and rise again as the vicarious atonement for the sins of the entire world in order to regenerate the minds and hearts of all human beings through this forgiveness of sins, so that we would come to believe that violence against everyone is simply not the way God made us to live. When a human being comes to understand this, being regenerated, washed in mind and spirit, put to death and raised again, dead to sin and alive to God in Christ, this does tend to have an impact on what they actually do. Unlike the world that can look in the mirror, see itself, and walk away forgetting who it really is, the faith of Christianity goes in and begins to change who you actually are so that you are what you say. So that when you're willing to say, I believe this, it doesn't just amount to a matter of mere words.
One of the most important jobs is to guard against the encroachment of the executive branch. He has been a little bit too willing and eager to give more power than I think the Constitution originally intended.
So forgive me if my views about the View are a little contorted. What I'm concerned about is making sure that you who are in the pew understand that while the world will always dwell in hypocrisy, saying one thing and doing another, redemption you have in Christ is because the God who made you has said one thing and intends to see it through. Rock on.